Hey Taurus, I hope you guys are doing amazing. Happy Monday. We're going to do this reading. It's very significant too. So, angel number 60 came through, and with angel number 60, it does tell you that there's a message from your angels that your home and your family will soon be blessed with financial security and harmonious relationships. And with that being said, there was something very significant in a message in itself within the message. There is somebody in your life that you really love them. And there's been a lot of maybe arguments or not being able to see eye to eye with this person, but you have a lot of love for them, and I feel the same thing. They have a lot of love for you. There is an ability to have a restored balance to this relationship. This person could be in their 60s. You could be in your 60s. That you could be born in 60s, but I'm feeling a lot of energy between like 59 to 68. Either way, there's just somebody that's very significant to your life, and that's something that needed to be said. Okay, be open to symbols and signals. Stay positive that opportunities will present themselves that will benefit you further to meet your material and financial needs. And when I look at this, I have the sunrise, and there could be something to do with significance of morning time, their magic, the power, the intuitive abilities that are magnified at that time for you specifically. On the bottom of this deck specifically, we have Ascension. And I feel like this is exactly what this is. It's a huge transformation taking place. There's a lot of negativity you've been dealing with in your life lately. There's little things that have been really getting to you. I don't know, some of you have a great life, right? You're pretty healthy. There's just weird things that take place sometimes. Sometimes it is a sense of like, it is yourself. Like you lose a little balance here or there or whatever, okay? And that's okay. We all end up, kind of going through those things. I mean, I run into the same, and my house is pretty much set up in the same ways. I still hit the thing, couches, or still run into the wall. Like my toes always, whatever. There's just things, but then there's other things on top of those little things that happen that are kind of more harmful things, right? So like you're cutting a cucumber, maybe your finger's nowhere near, but so happens you cut yourself, whatever. These things happen because there's negative energies and forces, and they are trying to keep you from ascending, which is why I was trying to cue into this energy right here, the ascension on the bottom. You're a very powerful energy. Now, when you're about to ascend to a very great level, that's when all the negative energies really start to come and they start to really mess with things. Okay, so a lot of you have been feeling a lot of insecure feelings. There's been really a lot of pressure, and a lot of you have been feeling the strain on your life. And I do feel like it's because the energy of the negativity doesn't want you to ascend to a higher level. Of course, once you do that, it's a death and a rebirth. So with that death goes them, and they know that. So I think this is your clarification, just to know to be open to symbols and signs and just stay positive. That opportunities will always present themselves that will benefit you to meet your material and financial needs and goals, etc. Then we have brown eyes and brilliant out here. Something about the significant letter B, okay? With the brown eyes, whoever this may be, even if it's you, something about the now life, there's too much on the plate. There's too much on the plate. It's been a lot of stress, a lot of strain. Now, the brilliant energy, and I know the brilliant energy is you. We all know it's Taurus. Taurus are very brilliant energies. They have this very precise energy about them to be able to get out of anything. It doesn't matter how problematic, doesn't matter how contradictory it is, they find a way. And the feeling of that is their aura reflects their emotional, mental, and spiritual health. Now, that brilliant energy of them, the way that they're so able and capable of getting out of any kind of problem or situation that is kind of a stagnant one, they have that aura energy, like we were just talking about in the morning when you're waking up. You have that very powerful, magical energy of your intuition and your downloads, like the things you're really receiving at that time is so significant, and it's happened your entire life. People notice this in you, and they kind of are questioning how it happens. But I do feel like some of you may not even truly be aware of everything that's happening, right? You're still learning little things here and there about it. That's kind of that. We'll get into it because this is pretty significant reading. I'm not going to lie. So with that being said, this is how you know you're able to get through anything, and this is like you already knew that, but now you know how you can. And it has a lot to do with it's like the frequency mode, something to do with your, there's a lot of things in your past. I don't know, some of you definitely were, oh man, like very much so looked at in high regards in past lives, like monks, even nuns. But I don't feel like you were a nun that was a evil one, you know, because there's a lot of those. No, like I think you actually had the true intention of pure love, and you were actually in the right place at the right time for those lives. There's many people that came across you, and not only were you solving problems for yourself, you were literally solving problems for other people, and you were getting them out of situations that were stagnant. And it's getting deep for me. It's getting deep for me because it's emotionally touching. It really is. What you guys were doing for people in the past. It makes me think, like, I'm thankful. Thank you. Thank you for helping those that really needed it. You know, it reminds me of the story I just read. And I'm going to break it down into very small compartments so that we can make it quick. But somebody was working for somebody. This girl showed up late 3 times in the month. Okay. Of course, there's a 3-strike rule. They fired him. They fired her specifically, right? And then later on, they were hearing the co-workers talk about this person getting fired, and that they were living in their car with their son, and had their ex-husband had left them, and they had nothing. They had no family and nothing. So the boss that had fired this person went to track down the person he fired. Found them finally after a long search within maybe 2 days, and gave the job back, gave the person an apartment because they knew somebody, like their one of their family members owned it, whatever. And that kind of thing is touching. I know it took them that moment to finally realize that people that work aren't just people. Like, they're not just people, like, to just say you're just somebody who works for me. You're just a worker. They're actual souls that are struggling in real life. Work is not real life. Work is a made up situation. I'm sorry. People that you're being bought to work for somebody. And I won't go any further. But yeah, that was a touching situation. This is something I see you doing in past lives, where you would know somebody's story. You'd find a way to go to all the systems, in a sense, to help them. Like, if you knew that there was financial aid, or if you knew that there was this, or if you knew that there was that, to help them, you did it. So that they would have an easier go. Does that make sense? Like, at life, which is something that is very significant. It gives me that very powerful energy of yourself. And with the 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups in the reversal, like, I really feel that there's been a lot of strain on your life and a lot of stress within the financial factors, not to mention what's happening in the world. And maybe you have obviously, not even maybe, you have a big heart, and you know that you do. And like, it is kind of really linking you to past lives. In that sense, you are recognizing how you are. You not even how you used to be, how you are. And with the 4 Cups in reverse, it's a checking in for alignment. So this bag that you've been carrying with you, because you have a lot of emotions that you wouldn't allow yourself to have time for. And, you know, there's a lot of situations that happen to you, but you had other things happening in life. So it was like you didn't have time for yourself to feel certain things. So you carried it like Santa Claus carries his bag of presents. You've been carrying this bag. And you had strain on your life so much, finally, you're looking in the bag that you're carrying. You're looking in it, checking in for alignment, seeing what's happening. And you're looking at these things with more wisdom and way more knowledge than you did have at the time that it happened to you. So you're better registering these things than you would have at the time. Anyway, maybe and it's not even maybe. I don't know why I say maybe. I need to drop that word for sure. Stop saying that. Because it is for certain. It is for certain that this was actually the way your life's supposed to go. This is exactly how it's supposed to be. You carried all this, had something recently happen to you lately. Okay, there definitely was something that happened to you. I don't know what it was. A medical emergency. You could have gotten injured in some way. But this is serious stuff. This has been the way that God had planned it for you, because now you're sitting there checking in for alignment, looking through all these things, and it's causing you to be very emotional, because it's getting to me. It's getting to me. And it is because the Four of Cups is Cancer. It's the moon. It's the feminine. It's the emotion, you know. And you're putting a lot of energy into the real feelings that you had. Maybe you didn't recognize that those feelings were real, but that's not true. You're seeing that for what it is and what it should have been, but you didn't see it then. And this is a lesson. This is a huge lesson for you to be learning, Taurus. Things are changing. Times are changing. Things are changing. Times are changing. Believe it and think it and say it. Believe it, think it, say it. Believe it, think it, say it. Believe it, think it, say it. Okay? Times are changing. Things are not going to be the same. Times are changing and things are not going to be the same, which is a good thing. We need this change. We need things not to be the same. We do. Things have gotten so out of hand and so pretty much. So we don't need any more of that. We need change. We need significant change. Things are going to change and nothing will be the same. Things are going to change and nothing will be the same. We are going to keep praying for those souls that deserve to be saved. We're going to keep praying for those souls that deserve to be saved. This is the energy I'm feeling from you. And this is something that, I mean, even if you haven't registered it yourself, this is something I'm giving to you from God. And this is how you're going to start programming your mind in the ways of the righteous, of the noble minded, of the loving energy and intention, because this is something that will definitely get you out of the stagnation. This will help you see a better opportunity to benefit yourself, to get yourself to financial needs. And this is the sense of you've been having a block currency. When you have a block currency, and we realize currency is not really money, money is a man made thing. Where do they think that they got currency from in the first place? They know what they were doing, they knew what energy was. They knew that if they made a piece of paper and they made everybody have a value to it and put it in their minds that they have to have this, that would cause it to be a real thing. So just know the energy, the currency is blocked from your energy because there's something that you haven't noticed about the financial realm. In a sense, the financial realm is only physical. It is not something that is a exist. It does not exist in the universe. In that sense, it does not exist in the spiritual realm. It does not exist in the ethers. There's no finances. There's no money. That is not how it works. Your currency is your energy. Your currency is the way that you allow yourself to show up and show effort, work, the way that your hard work and effort come in. Okay? I feel like once there's something that you're going to have a big old epiphany with when it comes to this way of thinking. And that's going to set you into a financial freedom, into a no longer block currency. And you're going to be able to flow with it. Okay? So there's a lot of great energy happening here. Karma work is happening. You're clearing a lot of that. With this right here, there's been a lot of emotional trauma healing. Exactly what we were feeling. A lot of the emotions. You're a really good person. Like not even just this life, multiple lives, you know. If you have had anything happen to you, say like, you know, things that maybe that wouldn't, if other people have had it happen, they didn't make it through it, you know, but you made it through it. It could have been anything financial, physical, like you got physically injured, somebody else got physically injured in the same way, but you so happen to survive. You have had nothing but good karma on your side. That's why you surpassed and lived through that experience, or, you know, got through that, because financially you could have had a crash and other people could have not made it through that, but you did, because your karma from your past lives have been on your side, because you've been nothing but kind. And so if you know that, and you know how real this is, and how past lives are real, and how reincarnation is a real thing, and karma and energy and how it works, you should know you're well taken care of. You're well taken care of, Taurus. Spirit got you, and God got you, and that's amazing, you know. I'm gonna cry, so I'm gonna let you all go. This is good, and have a beautiful rest of your day.